many, many years. Now I'm obsessed about the poll. Rosalie's going to be joining me in just a minute, and we're going to chat a little bit. I've known Rosalie forever. Melinda, hi Melinda. Lydia, hi Lydia. Good to have you joining me. Where are you? Oh, there you are. Okay. So, yes, in just a moment, Rosalie's going to be joining me, and we're going to be talking about, well, just being a woman of a certain age, keeping in shape, a little bit of our history, a little bit of how we got to know each other, and it was so cool getting to know Rosalie, because Rosalie and I are the same age. Just checking my polls in the right place. Rosalie and I are the same age. We're born in the same year. She's born in January. I'm born in July, and she has always been that person that I look to as sort of the barometer of, oh my gosh, that is the fountain of youth. And Fred's in the background. And Rosalie is truly a perfect example of what exercise and good diet can do for you to keep you healthy. So let's see who we've got joining us here. Carolyn's here. We have Kathy. Hi, Kathy. Malatu is joining as well. That is so great. Thanks, guys, for tuning in. We'll just wait a minute for Rosalie to join in as well. And if you have any questions, by the way, if you have any questions about health or diet, please feel free to type them in. We'll definitely ask them as well when Rosalie joins us. But Rosalie's been, I think, with the Shopping Channel now for, I'm going to say, probably 25 years. Because I'm celebrating 25 years this year. And I believe Rosalie was either there right after me or maybe a year later, or something like that. And she's kept us all going, all in shape for all these years. And she has worked with the likes of, well, Chuck Norris, obviously. I shouldn't say obviously, but if you follow Rosalie, you know that she is a representative for the Total Gym. So she's worked with Chuck Norris, the Total Gym, Christy Brinkley with the Total Gym as well. She, I believe, started her TV career with us at TSC, but then now she's global. She goes to the States, she goes to the UK over the years. So she's really been really a global expert when it comes to working out. And Melinda, thank you. Happy 25th. I know. Okay, let's see. Oh, Rosalie has sent a request to be live. Let's Rosalie. And waiting for Rosalie Brown. This is so great. Ah, there she is.
Hey!
In her classic workout gear. I think I've only seen you in like street clothes at a wedding. I think that was the only time I ever saw you in anything else.
Well, I wore my hair down. That's kind of different than what used to seeing me. But I'm teaching a live QB class at 6 p.m. So I'm sort of
getting in the zone, huh? Getting in the zone. Oh my gosh. Look at that hair. Oh my goodness. Is that all your hair?
I've cut it by myself during this epidemic. I've done my bangs 4 or 5 times. And I found this amazing way to cut long hair. And I don't know if I'll ever go back to a hairdresser.
Really?
Yes. Oh, do you want to know how?
If there any watching, just don't listen right now. But because I've been cutting my own hair too. I've cut my own hair like 4 times.
Right.
And I always joke it's turned into have you ever watched Schitt's Creek? It's turned into like Jocelyn Schitt's hair on Schitt's Creek. It's like just like there's no layers. There's nothing left in it. It's just like a blob. But
right.
It's free. What can you say? Well, I was just telling everybody we met, was it 25 years ago? When did you join TSC?
It'll be 25 years this September.
Wow. Yeah, because I came back in June. So just like next month, it'll be 25 years for you. Wow.
We should celebrate together.
We should. We should. But I know your idea of celebrating is like we'll be doing burpees and like push-ups or something. Squats.
So true.
Sort of a different idea than me celebrating. But you have been, I was telling everybody, you have been an inspiration all of those years because I know we're the same age. Like we're in the same birth year.
Right.
So I've often thought, okay, Rosalie looks so good. I have to, I have to follow her. I have to follow her kind of plan or the way she lives her life, which is pretty. I would say, is it disciplined the way you live? I mean, is
I
it?
guess so. I always feel, I think I feel if I'm going to talk the talk, I better walk the walk.
Yeah.
Like even when I've been hired to do testimonial group studies for companies, I even do exactly what I'm telling everybody else to do. So I know what they're feeling. And even if you come to work out with me, often I'll do it beside you because I don't want to feel like I want to know how you're feeling, how many reps. And I hate that feeling of someone hovering and just watching you work out. So I'm like,
Right.
I'll be your workout partner. So yeah, kind of walk the
Thank
walk.
you for that, because I still have memories of my grade 8 phys ed teacher who made us do the run, like made us do like the half-mile run, and she took the car, like she went in her car to make sure that we were doing the run. And I'm like, but you're a phys ed teacher, like shouldn't you be running with us? So
When I participate in other people's group fitness class and they stand and tell directions, I sort of just like, I'm like, you do it first.
yeah.
That's why I never do burpees. Never.
Oh, really?
I have
You
never.
don't like burpees?
Well, it's ever since, of course, since the hip thing, but even before the hip
Right.
thing, I didn't like them. So if I didn't like them, I wasn't asking anybody else to do them. So my workouts have been burpee free.
I hate burpees. I hate burpees.
Right?
Like, I'm not somebody who swears, but when I go to a class or I'm listening to a tape or something and they're like, okay, now we're gonna do burpees, I'm like, ah, no, thank you, no
Nope.
more.
Yeah.
That's for sure. Well, okay, are you in your basement?
Yes, this is where I shoot QB. This is where I shoot Total Gym for QVC. So this used to be my cardio room. And along this mirror, I used to have all my climbers, my maxi climbers, and then my
Okay.
leg magic. So it was sort of my cardio warm up. So everyone would walk into this side of the studio and we'd all climb together like a spin class. And then we'd walk around the corner where I have all my total gyms and my weights. So I'm shooting from my cardio room, and just actually because I've been having many people say, are you opening up your studio? And I'm definitely not opening it up before September, which is coming up really close. And if I am, it would be one-on-one or one-on-two. So I actually social distanced all my total gyms this morning. So
Okay.
I'm kind of thinking, maybe I can do some one-on-one or one-on-two. But I'm definitely not going back to that big small group thing or small.
No,
And the two
soon.
gyms that I work out have opened and asked me to come back. And I've said no right now. Maybe some of our viewers know that my mom lives with us. So that's a consideration.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
I'm a
absolutely.
grandma and I want to hold that baby.
Well, this is your grandmother. I love my grandmothers. They were very cool people. They didn't look anything like you, like nothing, nothing. There was a lot of, pin curls and white hair and martinis, basically, was it. So,
Well, you know what I love? When I
what?
take especially the two boys to the park, because I will go up and down the slides. It's like, let's play chase. And then when one of them yells out grandma and all the mothers on the in the playground turn their heads and go, did you just say grandma? It's like, yeah.
Yeah, that's me. Well, you should be very, very proud. But it truly is. I mean, we've talked about this before. I mean, fitness really is the closest thing to the fountain of youth that you're going to get, right? I mean,
Yes.
you're proof positive of it. I mean,
many of us that have really embraced it, like yourself as well, moving that body. Yes, I don't think there's anything better that you can do for your body. And having my 82-year-old mom live with me, and now not only, she has her separate entrance and separate part to our house.
Right.
And, with my life before isolation, pretty busy, but now not so busy looking for clients. So I'm like, Mom.
Yeah.
I swear she's gotten younger during this isolation. Her arms are firming up. Her knee pain is gone. because we exercise. She joins me in my QB classes twice a week.
Wow.
So I'm, we have so many great examples of people that embrace the active life. And I know it makes a big impact on your life.
Well, and as you said, it's never too late, right?
No.
So, your mom's what, 82, did you say?
Yeah.
82. So, if somebody's watching right now and going, oh, well, I'm already 62 or I'm whatever, 57, it's too late. No, it's not.
Well, this weekend at TSC, I was with the Total Gym.
Right.
And we have this amazing clip of the 70-year-old man, Jimmy, who at 70, like he's very overweight, looking kind of gray and pale. At 72, he's got, big muscly arms and a six-pack.
Wow.
So yeah, it's a great industry to be in, because I see so many great things happen to people, especially their confidence and the way they feel about themselves. Yeah.
Well, you told us Rob, your own husband. I mean, okay. So you were married for 35 years, is that right? Before
34 and 3/4.
34. Okay.
I know exactly how long it takes to change a man. 34 and 3/4 years.
Well, see, that's the only problem. We just give up too soon. Is that
That's
it?
Right. Keep at it.
Oh my God. What was the impetus for him? I mean, he must have seen you all through the years. I mean, if that wasn't encouraging enough, but
not only me, well, Rob's been a very sort of active person. He like he's built a few cottages. He's a super handy man. But yeah, never to step into a gym. Like, I've had a Total Gym in my home for almost close to 30 years, and it was the first time he had gone on one.
Oh.
But Rob has a great background in sailing. He used to race sailboats as a teenager, and whenever we went on holidays, we would watch that kiteboarding.
Yes.
And he'd like, I'm going to take lessons one day. I'm going to take lessons. So at 58, we decided, let's go to kiteboarding school. And he was really good. I was really bad. Because he understood the winds way better than I did. And but when he got into the water to pull himself up onto the board, his instructor said, "Sir, if you lost some weight, you'd be up skiing now." So Rob turns to me and goes, "So let's do it." And I'm like, so it took the words of another man, or a young man, to say, "Sir, why don't you lose some weight?" So it wasn't
always the way, though. I mean, you're an expert. You're an award-winning fitness trainer. You are, you're global. You're not only North America, but you've been in Europe as well. I mean, you're followed by thousands of people. You've sold like over 1 million DVDs about fitness, but it took another guy for your
motivate.
Okay.
Right. Oh, and here's the kicker. He lost like 10 pounds a month. So like in 5 months, he was down 50 pounds.
Oh my God.
And I treated him like my other clients, 10,000 steps a day. You don't have to do them all at once. And because it was crappy weather when he started in March, it was a lot of treadmill. When we were sitting down, I made him QB. And then a Total Gym workout. And 3 to 4, not every day a Total Gym workout, but most days a Total Gym workout. And we changed his eating habits. My name for my husband is Willy Wonka. He has a sweet tooth.
Oh.
So I replaced his nighttime sweet snacks with popcorn.
Okay.
That I make at home with coconut oil. One of those popper things.
Yeah.
Coconut.
Big
if you don't have one, I want to sell one at TSC.
Well,
I use my
ground. We'll brand it for you.
Right, every day. So popcorn really, really helps. Anyway, so it's been I guess almost a year that he's been down in his weight. Oh, and we went back to kiteboard, and he got up.
Nice.
Yeah, and now he's 60, and all my girlfriends are like, "Wow, your husband's hot." But here's the real kicker. he can cheat more than I can.
Oh.
So
Well,
I'm
now,
like,
why is that? Is it big? Why is that? Because he has more muscle than, is that why?
it's the male advantage. So it's like, are you kidding me?
Okay,
So I'm kind of like,
you brought it up. So
yeah.
do you cheat? Like, do you have any like cheat things?
Well, I don't make I'm not a big fan of scheduling cheats.
Okay.
Oh, and just so everyone realizes, my main diet is I try to be grain free and sugar free.
Okay.
So I don't do the breads.
So like processed sugars or like
I'll have a fruit a day. I treat fruit almost like a dessert, or I pair my fruit with protein like a nut butter or cheese.
Oh, okay.
And I find the older we get, and it seems to work with most of my clients, really reducing the grains, or like I make a great focaccia bread with almond flour.
Oh, okay.
And I love black bean pasta. And so there's lots of, I don't feel like people sometimes when they come to my cottage, they're like, oh, poor you. And I'm like, no, I love eating this way. I feel good eating this way. I find if I do introduce grains, my joints become very achy. It tells me right away it wasn't a good thing. And for most women, when they remove their grains and sugar for 1 week, like if you're really good, no bread, no rice, no pasta, no cereal.
Right.
They see inches lost in their waistline, like within a week.
In a week.
Matter of fact, who's that Apple computer guy, Jason?
Yeah, or Elliot?
Justin.
Oh, Justin. Okay, yes.
Justin S?
Yes, Justin S. Long name.
Yes, because he interviewed me, and in that interview, we talked about diet and exercise. Right. And he embraced it, and he's like 20 pounds down.
Good for him. Well, you know, I honestly think you're the reason that, I mean, at 58, I'm in a size 4 because, you know, that's, yeah, yay. Because, I mean, you know, I've fluctuated a bit over the years, but I've kind of hovered within like a 10-pound range here and there. But when was it? Last August, when you had a challenge. I think it was you had a challenge like lose 5 pounds or something.
Oh, yeah.
And so I took up the challenge, and then I immediately texted you and said, okay, what do I have to do? Like to do this? And you said, get rid of the alcohol, the sugar, and the grains. I'm like that's kind of everything that I have on a daily basis. But I'll tell you, well, now I drink my Buble water.
Yum.
Love this. I think it's the best one, by the way. I think it's the best flavored water, and it's not aspartame. It's just it's so good. Carbonated water, natural flavor. That's all there is in it. And now that I'm kind of at a stable weight, I will allow like once a week we'll have pasta or something, or once a week we'll have. But pizza, even I tried to make like cauliflower crust pizza.
Yeah.
That sort of thing. I don't eat much bread at all. So.
Well, it shows, Susan. It really shows.
Well, and I've noticed even, as you said, like joints and so forth, my knees don't hurt as much. They still hurt because there's a lot of arthritis in them, but they don't hurt as much as they used to. Things like that, you know, really important. Oh, Kathy's asked, what does that include mini wheat cereal? Yes.
Yes. A great question, because you know what? I used to snack on mini wheat cereal.
Really?
And when you reintroduce it, you kind of like my big treat or splurge would be pizza night. Let's do pizza.
Right.
And the very next day, my body is crying. Like my knuckles are aching. I'm super puffy underneath the eyes, and I might be puffy now because I just did 3 days at TSC. So I'm recovering. But yeah, so I noticed right away how different I look when I eat those grains, and how awful I feel when I eat those grains.
I've noticed that too. Yeah, we had pasta last night, and I felt it. Like I'm feeling it today. I feel this kind of bloated kind of feeling.
Yes.
Laurel asked, hold on, let's see. She is, I'm a vegan, so whole grains are important for me. Of course, portion control and clean plant food. So I guess, does she have, can you switch up your grains if you're a vegan? I guess you
Well, there's
could.
better grains like quinoa is a much
Okay.
better, it's like sort of a better grain. Spelt would be a better grain. But if you're feeling that achiness, definitely get your protein from all your beans.
Hmm.
Matter of fact, I just posted on my Facebook page about how good it is to have beans in your diet. So that's great. This is the problem for me with portion control. When I introduce grains, I just want more
Me
and more
too. Yes.
and more.
Yeah, it's true.
So I
Is
find
it
it's
the
easier. I
gluten or
just,
something in it? It's like the gluten. You just want that. There's that texture that you just want more of. Oh,
yes. Oh,
yeah.
yeah. There's nothing like a chewy bagel, that's for sure.
Oh, that's so true. My
Yeah.
God. Would that be kind of your guilty pleasure? Is like
Bread.
bread?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like pasta, I don't understand why people, and I'm Italian. Um, and I have a funny story. My 6-year-old grandson asked me why, if I'm a black person or if I'm a dark brown person, why do they call you black?
Interesting.
So it brought up a whole conversation about colors of
That,
skin and
yeah,
where people are born, and that grandma has a really dark tan. But for 6 years of his life, he thought his grandma was a black woman.
really
Yeah.
interesting. What a great opportunity, though, as you said, to
Oh,
have broader
it was so good.
conversation.
We actually took out the globe, and I was pointing out like the shades of skin where people are from. It was really fun.
At 6. Well, and that's when you start, right? That's when
Yeah.
you start having these conversations. So
Yeah.
you don't have to unlearn things later when you're 50 something. You don't have to
Right.
unlearn all the stuff that you shouldn't have learned in the first place. So, oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, I love
Oh my
them so
God.
much.
How old are the grandkids now?
Anthony's 6, James is 4, and Elsie is 2 months.
Elsie?
And my daughter is fair like you, as you know, Susan,
Yeah.
blonde, blue eyes, which was a big surprise when she was born. So very much my husband's side of the family. But Elsie is olive. So now I have a blonde and a brunette baby.
Aw, that's so cool.
Yeah.
Great.
So
Now,
good.
did they get any what would be like treats for the grandkids? What do you
Oh,
give them?
that's great. And it's very interesting because as a grandmother, you do want to feed them sugar.
Yeah.
And Anthony's now wanting to learn to bake. So that was interesting how we can sort
Ooh.
of bake them healthier stuff. But their treat when we come over is I get that trail mix with the few Smarties in it, the little
Oh
chocolate.
yeah.
So although James is not a chocolate fan, so but James loves the raisins. So I really try to be mindful of not doing the sugary stuff
Right.
with them when they're
Right.
visiting me.
And more than that, now I remember you saying, because I've had people say to me, because I've embraced nuts more now in the last year, because I never ate nuts before,
Oh yeah, they're so
really,
good.
because I thought there's so many calories in them, right? Like you look at the back and it's like a third of a cup has 350 calories. But so a lot of people I've talked to, they say, well, I stay away from nuts because there's so many calories. But you told me that the actual
Not as many.
nut isn't as bad as like a peanut butter or a cashew butter or something
Right.
like
There's
that.
a big difference eating peanuts. Big difference if you even break them out of the shell.
Oh, really?
So
Really?
so I sort of go towards peanuts in the shell, pistachio, something that I have to work to open. That'll slow me down. But yes, the latest research, which is yay so interesting, when you have to break down your food like a peanut rather than it being broken down already as nut butter, there
Right.
is so much work for your body just to break that down. So you're burning actually more calories breaking down that nut. And your body can't absorb all those broken pieces. It's just too hard, so it goes right through you. So the calories that they say on almonds or peanuts, they're basically thinking it's a butter already, and it's not. When you have to break it down, you don't absorb. I would say a good 1/4 of the calories is not absorbed when you eat the nut, rather than have it spread onto something.
That makes so much sense.
And a lot of people need to realize that your digestive system is the #1 way your body burns calories.
Really?
Yeah. So look
Like
at your food as a workout. Like right before this interview, I had an apple with some peanuts, and that my body now is working really hard to break down that apple. Say rather than choosing a rice cake that's already processed and there wouldn't be much happening. So if you take a 70-calorie apple and a 70-calorie rice cake, with the rice cake, you're going to get 70 calories. With the apple, you'll probably get about 40 because of the process it takes for the body to break that apple down and all the nutrients.
Ooh. Oh, I like that, because I have an apple. Well, not every day, but I have an apple almost every day.
Yeah, I'm a big apple fan.
Yes, and I every time I read, about something, it's like, oh, apples are good for that, or I guess that like the apple a day thing is really, really works. Okay, but tell me this: when you were a kid, a teenager, were you already into all of this? Like, were you already into like health, or did you come home and like open the bag of chips and?
Oh no. Well, I grew up in an Italian household, so we had lots of carbs. Pasta quite frequently, and butter pasta, like the big, I think once or twice a week we'd have white pasta with butter and Parmesan cheese, which is so delicious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds really good.
So, but I was very, very active. I was athlete of the year at my high school. I played varsity volleyball for the University of Waterloo.
Wow.
So yeah, very athletic. I was on all the sports teams. I actually played for the national European handball team. And the year that we were supposed to go to the Olympics got boycotted.
No.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so I'm very active, but let me tell you, not lean. I was very busty, so therefore popular. It goes hand in hand in high school. But it was interesting because when I met my husband in high school, he had another girlfriend, and she was finding out that he was interested in me. And she said to her friends, why would he like that fat Italian girl?
Oh,
inspiration.
Look at you now.
Well, and you know what, I've done group lectures before, and I always share with people that story because I think it did motivate me I was a little heavy. She was right. And rather than let it hurt me, I said, make it your oh yeah moment. Because people are critical. You might hear something that's not complimentary, and rather than being hurt by it, use it as your fuel.
Right.
Use it as your yeah.
Well, no, it's very, very true. I mean, yeah, let whatever your thought is, right, create the action that you want.
Yes.
So depending what thought you plant, that's the action that you'll take, right? So you could have gone, oh no, poor me, and had a pizza, or said, okay.
Oh, and my mom makes the best pizza.
Oh, does she really? Oh,
well,
my
it's interesting
because
my mom lives with me, usually just for 6 months of the year because she goes to Florida for 6 months of the year. Mm-hmm. And I have I have mom weight and when my mom's not here.
I bet.
Because she loves to share.
Well, my mother always said food is love. And so that was like, when there would be so much food on the table, and it's like, Mom, there's only 5 of us here. I know, but food is love. And she would just have like 17 chicken drumsticks and a big bowl of potatoes, and like everything was like, have more.
Yes. Yeah.
And like every Friday was like steak and fries. Like that was every Friday. And then every Friday was roast beef and mashed potatoes. And I mean, how could you not be a little, little bit of extra weight, right?
But I'll tell you, I was so happy. I think it happened 2 weeks ago where my mom asked me for a healthy muffin recipe. I was like, yay!
Boy, one by one, you're getting your entire family on board.
I know, right? Oh, that's so
little
funny.
by little, you're getting everybody there. Oh my gosh, that is so great. I didn't know you met Rob in high school. That's wow.
Well, I actually met him. We were both lifeguards at the local pool. I'm 2 years younger than Rob, so I was in grade 11 and he was in grade 13.
Right.
And he was my pool supervisor. And we also went to the same high school. And he was dating someone else for a long, long time. So that he was like really off the market. And, but I actually told my girlfriend, we weren't even dating. I told my girlfriend, I'm going to marry that guy.
Really?
I knew it.
Wow.
Before we were dating.
I said that too. And then I've never even gotten close to the guy. Like, it's like, someday I'm going to meet that guy. And they're like, nope, never. Not going to happen.
I did think I was going to marry Donny Osmond though, too.
Oh, I know. I did too. Donny Osmond and David Cassidy.
Right.
For sure. I was going to get one of those two.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's so cool. Well,
yeah.
Okay. So now what would you say to give us like, okay, let me put this a different way. I remember years ago you said to me, if I just do not even going to do like a serious workout, but if I just do like these certain things every day, it was like, if you do, Susan, lunges and squats and sit-ups and push-ups.
Right.
With one more, I can't remember what it was. He said, if you just do those every single day,
yeah,
you should be fine.
Right.
So is there a core thing that we can do, like if for those listening right now, that we could kind of keep a routine at?
Definitely. And it's funny. One of my things I would love to vocalize to many of my clients is I'm not here to entertain you. I'm here to train you.
Right.
I always say, like, leave your entertainment to your recreational activities, but keep your training. Just like with Rob's fitness program, it was the same program every single day.
So consistency is key, right?
Yeah, it was effective. Yeah. And we have such great tools at TSC. I'm that ultra core workout, little thing, so impressed with that, again, because it hits your triceps, it hits your glutes, it hits your inner thighs. But yeah, if you just have like 5 to 6 exercises, like a squat. And I'm teaching my mom how to squat right now, and she's doing it on a chair. So she sits down, stand up, sit down, stand up. And now she's doing with weights in her hand. Sit down, stand up. And I always tell her, never use your hands to get up off a chair. Always use your legs and your core.
Okay.
To get up. So, and if squats aren't your thing, hip thrusts, where you're on the floor, or bench thrusts.
Right.
That is a game changer for your buttocks. And I'm almost at the point where I think that made a bigger difference on my glutes than my squats.
Really? The hip thrust?
Yes.
Now, I know people who put weights on their hips, like when they're doing a hip thrust. Is that?
Yeah, that's what you graduate to. Yeah.
Okay.
And I know on Instagram you see people with like 200 pounds.
Yeah.
But like, I think like for me, 30, 40, if I have 2 15-pound hand weights, I'll put them on. So graduate to that.
Okay.
Or those booty bands, those loop bands.
Oh, yes.
That you can open and close. So, for squats, if you're just starting, start with the chair squat, up and down. And I would aim for a 24 reps. When that gets easy, pick up some weight. When that gets easy, pick up more weight. And it also gets your heart rate up. So it's a nice way to warm up. You sort of sit down, stand up, pick up the weights, perfect squats. And squats are important because as we live longer, we want to keep our independence.
Right.
And it keeps our leg strength because, I've gone to different resorts and you see people of different ages, and you lose your confidence when you lose your strength, the way you walk, the way you move. Mm-hmm. So squats really help you keep your lower body movements confident in life.
Okay.
If you want to change the shape of your bottom, lift and squeeze, those hip thrusts, I would say everybody should be doing those. Okay. And by the way, on my YouTube channel, I have like 3-minute hip challenges. So if you're thinking, where do I get started? I record those every month I do a mini challenge, and I announce it the first of the month. This month we're going to do inner thighs. This month we're going to do glutes. This month we're going to do abs. So there's always like a 2 to 3 minute challenge every month. And we do that exercise every day for the month.
And do you see people see change? They see difference. They see change. Now, Should we add the diet? I mean, I know we've talked about this before. I mean, and you just mentioned it. I mean, you were very, very active when you were a teenager. You were a top athlete. You were, destined for the Olympics. But diet is a huge part of it too, right? I mean,
Yes.
if we're going to be doing squats and we're going to be trying, because I'm right now at this age, now I'm more about quality of life as I get older. I mean,
Yes.
I could walk out the door tomorrow and get hit by a truck, but my plan is to be around for quite a while.
Yeah.
So, when I was in my 20s and my 30s and even my 40s, it was like, okay, how good do I look in this dress? Like, that's important. And it's, it's still important. You want to have that confidence. But now it's also about, okay, if I'm going to make it into my 80s, hopefully, even my 90s or something, I want to be walking. I want to be, I want to be doing things. I want to be able to still get out of bed by myself and, do things that I consider just normal now seem to be such a challenge as we get older. So, but would diet be something that we should incorporate into this for longevity as well?
Protein is so important because we want to keep our muscle. So we really need to, a matter of fact, I always tell people protein should go into your mouth first for two reasons. Protein is the building block of your body and your muscles. And two, protein usually helps satiate you. It's hard to make a bad protein choice. So I'm a big fan, like I panic if I don't have eggs in my fridge. And I usually have a bunch of hard-boiled eggs. I do egg bakes, which are eggs in muffin. So I'm always, I have something prepared. So when I open the door and I'm searching, an egg will go into my mouth.
Okay, that's smart. Okay, so like do the egg bakes or have the hard-boiled eggs or somebody was even telling me, I don't know if it was you or not, but like, because I buy the eggs now in the big grid. I don't know what you call it. And there's just the two of us and it starts getting towards the end and I'm like, oh, we still have like before the due date, there's still like a few eggs. And somebody said to me, like, hard boil them, like just before they go bad, just hard boil them. And then you'll get like another few days out of them before you have to eat them. So
fun fact, I'm always daring expiry dates.
Are you? Oh, that's good.
If I go, it's going to be because I ignored an expiry date.
Yeah, it was good until last October 2019, but she ate it anyway.
Yeah.
But that's good advice. Okay, so that's a great, I mean.
So protein snacks.
But let's say we're well, if you're vegan or vegetarian, you can still eat eggs. If you're vegan, because we have a vegan I know that's been watching. So
bean salad. Always have that's another thing I usually always have prepared in my fridge is a bean salad. Okay. So a mixed bean salad with oil and vinegar, some peppers. I'm a big fan of spicing things up, so I'll often toss in cayenne pepper into lots of stuff I bake. But yeah, beans are amazing source of protein. So yeah, matter of fact, I tell my clients, like your mother, make too much food. Because leftovers are great.
Yes. So they're even better than the first time leftovers. Yes.
Yeah.
So true. So very true.
And I'm also a big fan of intermittent fasting.
We've talked about this. Yes. Because now I must admit, I was really good with my intermittent fasting up until coming home, like staying at home more. And then it was, it was easier to nibble and there was kind of, you had time on your hands and I always gravitate to the fridge when I have time on my hands. So, but the intermittent fasting, there's been so much research about the benefits of intermittent fasting for your body. And I've heard for years and years and years, eat less, like don't eat so much all the time, like eat less and eat less. So it's kind of proving that the body doesn't really need that much food or, it's kind of better even on a smaller amount of food than a lot of food, right?
Well, for many years, I was a closet intermittent faster because breakfast was the most important meal of the day. But every morning I got up and I taught fitness, and food did not feel good. So it was very easy for me to go, I'm not having anything, go teach my class. And then I would have a client after my class, and then it would be like 2 o'clock. And I'm like, I feel fine. And people would often say, where do you get all that energy? What did you have for breakfast? And I remember once I told someone nothing, and she's like, that's so bad.
But, you know, she's not alone. I mean, I've had physicians in the past because, you know, we can only share what we know at the time, right? So, but I've had physicians say to me in the past, you must eat breakfast. Like, you have to have that. That is so important. You're like, oh, you're even going, oh my God, okay. But well,
it was interesting because when I had my children, my son he says, I don't feel good eating breakfast. So I went, like, I wasn't, initially I'm like, you got to have breakfast. You got to have breakfast. And he's like, I don't feel good having breakfast. So I was just like, well, he's listening to his body. So having the children and watching the way they ate, it was very interesting. He just was not a breakfast eater. So, and now he's a doctor.
That's right. My son, the doctor. Did you practice that in front of the mirror? I would have practiced that a lot in front of the mirror. Hello, this is my son, the doctor.
And he hates it if I tell anybody. Don't tell them that. I'm like, are you kidding me?
Bonus. That's bonus points for me as a mom.
I know, right?
That's so cool. Oh, Kathy's asking, what is the best food in the afternoon when you're sluggish at that time of the day?
Great. And again, I just had my apple with my nuts. Apples are a great source of energy. So anything like a fruit is a great source of energy, but again, pair it with a protein so it also satiates you. So Costco makes those Parmigiana petals. Have you seen those?
No. What are those?
Oh, it's Parmesan cheese in these petals, like rose petals.
Like chips,
so
like kind of
they're
like
already nicely shaved for you. It just makes it so easy to have with your grapes or your apple.
So that's just like fresh Parmesan. It's not like it's been processed in any way.
No, it's just Parmesan cheese in petal form.
Oh, okay.
So, and that's how I make my cheese crackers. I take a few petals, put them on a cookie sheet with parchment paper.
Right.
Let them melt. Take them out of the oven. You now have cheese crackers.
Oh, you are very creative. I have to say, I love all of your recipes. You are incredibly creative with like creating, you know, fun things and snacks and so forth. But you're really good at, you know, switching up things. Like instead of having, as you said, like wheat flour, using, you know, almond flour, or, you know, instead of using white sugar, using stevia or something like that. So
I actually grew my own stevia.
What is a stevia?
It's a plant. It's like mint. It looks like a mint leaf, but it's sweet. And you can actually just throw that leaf into anything and it sweetens it up.
And you can grow them? Of course, you know, living in urban world, I'm like, you can grow stuff? That's pretty crazy. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Where'd you get it? Like, where do you go? Like to a nursery?
There was a farm that was selling it in Bloomington.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Bloomington, like Ontario?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know why I think of Bloomington, Illinois. And I'm like, you went to Illinois to get it?
It's close to Uxbridge, Ontario.
Oh, okay. Okay, Bloomington. Okay,
but I'm sure you can order it. I'm sure Amazon carries them.
Amazon carries everything.
I know.
I know. But they'll just be, you know, delivering spouses at some point.
But there's great stevia that you can, like, stevia used to have a funny taste, but I think they've really improved powdered stevia. Yeah.
Is the natural stevia better? Like the leaf, is that even better? The taste-wise?
Taste-wise, yeah, the leaf is like, it's great. Like if you put it in tea, or if you put it like in lemon water and you throw a stevia leaf into it, it sweetens it up.
I'll have to look for those. That's very, very cool. Wow. This is a lot of great information. My God.
Well, you know, it's funny because like I've got in the back of my mind. A lot of people have asked me to do a recipe book.
Yes.
So I'm thinking maybe that's going to be my big project when because as you can tell, I love the outdoors. I'm in that sunshine 24/7. So when it goes away, I'm actually a little bit nervous because I do love to escape to the sun. And I know this year we will definitely not be escaping anywhere. So I'm kind of planning right now. I better have some projects on hand. So that might be my project.
Okay, well, I think that's a great project. I love it. Well, we're getting lots of response. Shona, our lovely model, is saying yes, do it. One of our other viewers, Sapphire, I love that name, says do it, absolutely. Peter, do you know Peter? Have you met Peter from our warehouse? Peter, he celebrated 30 years at our.
I saw that.
Yes. Peter has asked. He said, "I have a question for you. Which exercises should I get? I'd like to get one where I could be walking. Is that okay for me to use?" So some sort of, I guess, piece of exercise equipment where he's walking. Maybe like the mini walk or something would be good.
Oh yeah, a treadmill. Right now, I would really recommend getting outdoors. It's so good for stress release. But yeah, treadmills are fantastic, and they're making them so compact these days. We used to have the mini walk, and now because it goes to 8 kilometers per hour, but the home run goes till 12, and Rob is faster now. So we've had to upgrade treadmills, and they are so lean and sleek, and they weigh nothing. They come fully assembled. The treadmill in my career of fitness, that has made huge changes in the way it looks. It's very George Jetson space.
Yes.
You know, they are so lean and go anywhere, and plug them in, put them up against a wall. Yeah, it's great. And I'm a big fan of the Maxi Climber still.
Yes, you are. Dave is a big fan of Maxi Climber too. I'm working on it. I don't know. There's something about it. I just am not quite comfortable on it. I don't know what it is, but I just have to get on it more, I think.
Have you tried my YouTube workout with it?
No.
Well, that might help.
You have so many. Thank you, by the way, for giving us all those free exercise classes. I mean, on your YouTube channel. Anybody who's wanting to actually do any type of workout, go to YouTube and look up Rosalie's YouTube channel, because you have, it's like hundreds. Like there's so many incredible exercise.
I now try to do a workout for every product that I've touched. Just because I want our viewers to know how I would use it. And lately I've been able to touch a lot because they can't bring other guests in.
Right.
So I've had a bit of a silver lining with this quarantining. They want to let the local girl, touch the fitness stuff. So I've touched a lot of new things, and I've been really impressed. So yeah, I like to lay it down, do YouTubes. I have over 200 workouts. Some you don't even need equipment. I use a pillow,
right?
Beach ball. Definitely the equipment that you've seen. The bikes are popular at TSC. The resistance bands, the QB.
QB's huge. QB is huge, and it's great if you are sedentary, or if getting up and doing exercise is for some reason you're restrictive and it's maybe a bit more challenging. I think of somebody like my mother who has, it's challenging for her to get up and do anything with lots of movement. So that's really beneficial.
But even just so many people are sitting. Well, all of us sit.
Yeah.
And people are working from home. They can't get up as much as they want. I'm so impressed with that product.
Well, it's got a huge following, I think, for that reason, right?
Yeah.
One of our viewers said, "What do you like to drink? Almond milk, water, coffee? Like, what is your drink of choice?"
I'm water, or I do a ginger tea, but it's not even tea. There's no like tea in it. It's just dried ginger. I know, and being Italian, I've never been a coffee drinker, but because I keep reading great things about coffee, sometimes I'll just go, if I'm feeling a little, I could use some energy, I'll make myself a coffee, and then I throw some ice cubes in it because I don't like it hot. And then a little bit of stevia, but I just drink coffee because I think, oh, it's good for me.
Oh, really? I didn't know coffee was good for you. I'm not a coffee drinker, but I'll tell you something, just between you and me, that Nespresso machine we sell at work makes amazing coffee. I did a coffee show the other day, and there's no guest, right? There's no guest in the studio,
Right,
so it's just me. And so I'm saying to the crew, I'm a little concerned because somebody's got to drink the coffee, and I'm making coffee, and so I thought, well, I'll have a little bit of coffee. It was so good. Like I've never been. I mean, I remember having a sip of coffee in university and thinking, oh, this is bitter and it's strong and it's awful, and why would anybody drink this stuff? I mean, if you have to put 3 milks and 3 sugars in it, why even go there? So I never had it, but this machine made this amazing cappuccino, and I had like 2 cappuccinos and an espresso in 1 hour.
Wow.
I never had coffee before.
My husband is a huge tea fanatic. For his 60th birthday, my kids got him like 60 different flavors of tea. His favorite is Earl Grey. He's like an Earl Grey fan. So we've always had tea in the house, but here's a fun fact. Both my kids drink coffee. Well, I know. Weird. Yeah, and we never had it in the house. And now we have a coffee machine in our house because when we used to have guests, we had to offer some coffee. But yeah, we're more tea drinkers. And when I was growing up, and every once in a while, my dad said he was going to buy me a cow because I was such an aggressive milk drinker.
Oh, wow. Really?
Yeah, really. And my husband remembers when we were dating that he could always taste milk on my breath when he kissed me.
Oh my gosh, really?
How sexy.
Oh, that's so funny. Yeah, wow. Well, we'll have to come up with a new nickname for you, you know, like, I don't know, Jersey or Guernsey.
Yeah. Jersey girl.
Yeah, Jersey girl. Exactly. Not the Jersey boys, the Jersey girl. That's so cool. Do you still drink milk now? Are you a big milk drinker now?
Not really. No, I'm so, matter of fact, I know I should, if there's one thing I can improve on is I should probably drink a little bit more. So I try to have a full bottle of water before I start my day. I have a full bottle of water at the end of my day. I try to drink one after I work out. I'm a water girl. If I want to make it special, I'll throw in a lemon or a lime. Like when we used to go out to a restaurant, it was always like the bubbly water with lemon or lime.
Right.
I definitely have all the spark. Like I have tons of blue blay or buble.
Yeah, I don't know. I just call it buble, but it's like buble, bubbly. Something.
And I really like the Costco iced tea. They have like green tea, Costco green tea.
Oh.
And I know there's aspartame in it, but.
That's your guilty pleasure, eh? A little bit of aspartame. Oh, yeah. Oh, if mine was that, I tell you, mine's I must admit, when we do our grocery shopping every week, there's that moment where you go, well, let's drink something fun home. Something fun home. And so it's, there's usually a cookie somewhere or something, but try to temper it a little bit.
My fun thing was I brought home pumpkin butter.
Oh yeah, that's up there.
It's green.
It's green?
Because I was making my protein balls. This is another thing I do is I always have protein balls in the freezer, and I usually make them with peanut butter or almond butter. So I thought, let me make some protein balls, and I mixed some almond butter with the pumpkin butter, and the pumpkin made it look like it was like sort of a moldy ball. So I just thought I better let people know that's not mold, that's pumpkin.
That's hilarious. Well, and you don't, and I know we've talked about this, you don't drink alcohol.
No, it doesn't agree with me. Like, I can't even, being Italian, and I cannot even stand the smell of wine.
Are you sure you're Italian? Like, you don't, you don't drink coffee, you don't drink wine.
My mom that question.
Yeah. Maybe there was like a milkman. Maybe the milkman. That's why you love milk so much. Maybe.
Right. Yeah, like those fancy drinks and stuff are fine. But I guess just with my career, being athletic in school. And then when I went to the University of Waterloo, I had a very strict volleyball coach. And we traveled every weekend to a different university, to a tournament. So there was really no time for me to get that really party experience. She was really strict with us. Mm-hmm. So a lot of playing and sort of in that sports world.
Very disciplined. Yeah.
Yes.
Disciplined. Yeah. So kind of just as that was the mindset, even going into your 20s and stuff, because that's sort of when I mean, I can maybe talk from a little bit of experience. I mean, that's kind of in my early 20s when it was like, yay, let's go partying and, let's go have wine and let's have more wine and stuff. But,
Yeah.
but that, and I must say last year when it was lose the 5 pounds challenge and you said, don't have any wine, don't have any alcohol, because usually after a day at work, I'd come home, I'd have a glass of wine. And so I'd say for the first week, your name was not rolling off my tongue very well. It was like, ugh. But you get used to it. Like your body kind of goes, oh, it's almost like a sugar craving that now has kind of dissipated and gone out of your body, right?
Right.
Which,
and I find when my clients, I start them off by saying have it every other night and then just have it on the weekend. But Susan, I notice how like your face has changed since you've given up the alcohol and the like it's just, you look younger, fresher.
Well, it's interesting you say that because just around that time last summer, Dave was saying to me, he said, I'm noticing in all the pictures that you post, you're squinting all the time. I'm like, no, I'm not squinting. And I was looking at the pictures and I'm like, well, I know I'm not squinting, but I look like I'm squinting, like I'm losing my eyes. My eyes aren't there anymore. And it was the puffiness. It was sort of like the buildup of, I don't know, carbs and sugars and so forth, whatever. It was creating this puffiness around my face that I've noticed has dissipated.
Yes.
So very, very happy with that. And so now, I always joke, now I buy my champagne at Shoppers Drug Mart. They have like the non-alcoholic champagne.
Right.
And so if I ever want to feel like I'm having something really cool, I just go there. Now it is sugary, it's grape juice, and so it's highly concentrated, so I don't have it every day. But it's like, oh, I'm just gonna pretend I'm having something really exciting.
I find when I put my sparkling water, like when we've had guests and stuff, in their wine glass, like if I just have my drink in that, it makes such a difference.
Yes.
And then
it's really the ritual, I find, is what's important. It's the getting out the wine glass, pouring it into, it's so you're right. Like I'll have my sparkling water in a lovely crystal wine goblet, just because that makes me feel good. And then I don't feel like I'm missing out. And it really was that sort of idea that got me thinking, well, it's not the alcohol, it's the ritual that I love. It's not necessarily the drink, because the drink gives me a headache and I can't sleep, and then I get night sweats and I get puffy eyes, and it's really not helping me at all.
Right.
And that was something I did notice was when I stopped having a drink, when I stopped having wine, was the night sweats were gone. Like I wouldn't get that hotness at night.
Yes.
Wake up 2 or 3 times in the evening. We have had a couple of questions though about your water drinking.
Okay.
We have, and by the way, we have less than 2 minutes.
Let's do 2 hours.
Yeah. Yeah, really. 1 more hour.
Yeah.
But quickly before we go, so we've had questions. If you drink a lot of water at night, like, does that keep you up at night, or how late do you have your water in the evening?
I just I go to bed every night at 11, and like 10 o'clock to 11 o'clock, I have my big glass. And I don't seem to have to get up.
You have a good bladder. That's really good. You have strong muscles. Your kegels are in good shape. So that's really good. That's a good thing.
Yeah. But again, feel free to have your water earlier on. If you find that time of night's not good for you, don't have it that time of night. Have it earlier on.
Yeah. Well,
because I'm not a big fan. I don't think we need 8 glasses. Like I think I think you should just drink when you're thirsty. I think people force feed their water way too much.
Well, that's a really good point. And then you kind of resent it. It's like, oh, I've got to have water.
Yeah, no, people drink. Like if you can't get through, like with my clients, if you can't get through an hour workout without stopping for a drink, come on.
Yeah.
Have some before. We're gonna have some after. Let's go.
See, the nice Rosalie goes away during the training.
I'm serious. I take my training really serious. I do.
Well,
and I want people to get their results. And it's just,
No. Well, I thank you for that. And you've helped many of us over the years do exactly that. We have 10 seconds.
No.
So I want to say thank you so much for spending some time with me and we getting to know you. And oh,